Apologies in advance for the sweating, but it is roasting today. Disgusting. I saw somebody tweeted to say that like 28 degrees might not seem a high temperature to a lot of people, but in Scotland it's like they've actually dropped the sun on us and we have gingers that will die, and like me and Simon are both a bit ginger and I can confirm we are dying. Hi and welcome back to Booktube with Amy. So today I'm doing a tag video. So in a wee bit of a weird situation, me and the channel. So Simon obviously originally started it, and then I came along and we did it together, and now Simon has decided to leave the building. So I feel like I am not quite a newbie, but I am also not a newbie. And Simon did the newbie tag. I obviously didn't, I wasn't on the channel at the time. So we were tagged also in the not so newbie tag, and we were going to do it as part of the big summer spectacular at the end of Double O No. But Simon felt like, shouldn't he really do the tag if he's going to be leaving? And then when we announced that I was going to be taking over the channel, Gunpowder Fiction and Plot suggested that I do the newbie tag, because I guess technically I am. So what I've done is I have merged the questions from the newbie tag and the not so newbie tag to make the not so newbie tag. So that's what we're doing. Well, I think that everybody who I watch on Booktube certainly is honest in their opinions and as their reviews, so I don't know if that's something that is unique, but I feel like my particular brand of ranty, sweary Booktube is a wee bit unique to me. You know, you're always only going to get me the one way. I will tell you if I loved a book, I'll tell you if I hated a book, and give you like 10 reasons as to why. I think something that's maybe a wee bit unique for me, or something that I've certainly started to do to differentiate my wrap-ups a wee bit, is structure them the way that I have been. So starting with the previews first, and then going on to the books that I'm reading from my shelf. So that's something that I'm definitely going to continue. I've really been enjoying this wee NetGalley binge, and like, as a mood reader it's heaven, because I just have this catalogue of books that I can choose from. And yeah, I'm really enjoying reviewing them. It's not something that I've ever really done before as a reader, so I am enjoying it, and it's something that I want to continue. So that's definitely something that I think is maybe a wee bit unique. I mean, it's probably no, but we all just sit in front of cameras talking to ourselves about books, so I don't know how much unique you can get. I think for me, because I came in and it was already sort of established and Simon had established it, I'm really excited to see about growing it and to see about doing some of my own content, because obviously me and Simon review books very, very differently. He, you know, puts so much effort in and writes like 8-part skits and gets everybody who has ever read a book on the internet involved, and has singing and dancing and musical numbers, and I do not. I think it was difficult to try and find content that wouldn't distract too much from what he was doing, but also sort of was content that I would enjoy creating. So Simon is very theatrical and very, you know, production minded. I just sort of want to sit and chat about books, so I'm excited to sort of make some content that I would watch. Not to say that I wouldn't have watched Simon's videos, that sounds bad and I'll put my foot in it again, but it's no the content or no the Booktube content that I would watch. So I really enjoy watching vlogs that's something that I'm really excited to try doing myself, is just doing some vlogs, so we'll hopefully see a couple of them popping up. I really like when booktubers do author spotlights. That's something that I definitely like to try. People have said to me before, I talk about Chuck Palahniuk a lot, so perhaps I could do an author spotlight on him, that they'd find that interesting, so that's something that I definitely want to do, and I'd like to do more of that as well if there's a particular author that I read a lot of, because like there is. Chuck Palahniuk brings out a book, I will buy it. I don't need to know what it is about, I will buy it. I really love Clive Barker, and again, like, he could bring out a book and I would buy it without really knowing what it's about. So there are a few authors that I do really love that I'd like to maybe do featured episodes on the channel for. And I really like when people do reading sprints and stuff as well. I find them good for me. There's some things where I'm just like maybe no really in the mood to read, or I'm finding it a wee bit difficult to concentrate on what I'm reading, and I feel like sprints are really helpful for that, because I can sit down, read for a wee chunk of time, chat for a wee chunk of time, read for a wee chunk of time. So maybe like as the channel grows, if that's something that people would like, that's something I'd like to do as well. I'm just excited about making more content that is just sitting talking to people about books in different formats. There's two reasons. So firstly, I've just always really enjoyed it. It's always been a bit of an escape for me. If there is like anything mad and stressful going on in life, I just really like to pick up a book and like forget about it, and it's just something that I've always done. I've always been a really big reader, even since I was little. So it's just something I've always enjoyed. I like just getting taken into this other world. I really love learning about all these different characters and their stories and their experiences. So I just think that that is so thoroughly enjoyable for me, and it's so immersive. I get immersed in a book, and I didn't really get as immersed in like video games, because I play my PlayStation, I have my Nintendo Switch, I do really enjoy gaming. I just don't feel like I get as immersed in it as I do with a book, Skyrim being the exception, because like it's the ultimate. And even with TV show and film, like you've seen our shelves behind me, so me and Simon are avid collectors of not only books but also TV show box sets and films. It's something that we both really enjoy, but there are like very few box sets that I feel like I get as invested in the characters in as I do with a book. And then secondly, I feel like reading has always just brought me closer to people throughout my life, and it's just something that I really enjoy, is talking to people about books. So like my gran and granda both were really big readers, so then my mum and my auntie and my uncles were all big readers, and then like my mum basically got me into reading, and I'm a really big reader. And then obviously me and Simon met because we were talking about books and stuff, and some of like my friends who I'm close to are really big readers. It's just something that I've always found a really easy way to connect to people with, is through books, and that's something that I really enjoy. So aye, maybe that sounds a wee bit sad, but that's how I feel, guys. It's alright to be mushy sometimes, isn't it? I really do enjoy my wrap-ups. I think it's cracking to just sit and rant about a book or rave about a book. I do really enjoy that. But what I've really like doing is I've really liked the buddy reads that I've done with Kit from Kit's World, and with Ange from Angie's Book Chatter, where after we've finished the book we've had a Zoom call and we've sat and we've spoken about it. I really enjoy that. I think that it's nice to actually talk to somebody as opposed to just sitting talking to your camera. And I really enjoy getting sort of their insights and their opinions and takeaways for the book while I'm still thinking about mine, and then we can sort of compare and contrast. So I find that really interesting. I think that it's brilliant that two people can read a book and they can view it completely differently, have a totally different set of opinions on it. So I really love doing that. That's something that I'd like to do more of in the future. I know that I've got a couple of buddy reads planned in where that's what's going to happen. I just think that's really fun, just getting to sit down and have a chat about it. It's really interesting to me, so I definitely want to make more of that. And obviously I really do enjoy my wrap-up, so that's something that I'm going to continue to make as well. So hands down, thrown a glass. So I had never read a Sarah J Maas before until we had started Booktube. I had seen her name bouncing around a few times on some of the Facebook book groups that I am a part of, where like it's just book recommendations and stuff. So I'd seen her name thrown around a lot, but I was just like, I don't know, man, like this is what an 8-part series, and if it's rotten, like, and I've already started so many series, but then we just decided to take the plunge. So I found really beautiful covers from their Ink that I loved and really coveted, and then Simon bought me them, and then he also proceeded to buy me all the books because he's a legend. So I decided that I was going to give them a go and I was going to start them. I think I started them just slightly before I had came onto the channel officially, but I read them because of Booktube, because they were so highly recommended, people raved about them, and I wanted to see what the fuss was about, and I devoured them and I absolutely adored them. They were fantastic and I would recommend the series to anybody. They are brilliant. So I feel again there are two. So when I was wee, I really loved The Hobbit. My dad had this wee like animated version and I was just obsessed with it. I would watch it constantly, and then when we would go to the library and stuff together, I'd be like, can we get the Hobbit book? So we'd take that out quite a lot and he would read me that as a child, and I think that's why I love fantasy as much, as just totally because of my dad's influence when it came to that. Because I still love The Hobbit and I love all the Lord of the Rings books, so I definitely, The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings got me into it from a fantasy perspective. Absolutely, it is directly because of that. And then I also love horror, and another series that I feel got me into horror books was the Goosebumps books. I don't know if they are like an across the board thing, but I know certainly in America they're quite popular, and they're popular in the UK as well. And my gran and granda bought me lots and lots and lots of them when I was wee, because I was just like obsessed with them. I also loved scary stories to tell in the dark, and my granda would always read me horror books that he probably shouldn't have been reading me, but I loved them, and so I think that's definitely why I am such a big horror fan, both in films and fiction. I feel like just getting to talk to people about books and finding an entire community of people who read books that are similar to myself. So me and Simon have spoke about it before. Even though we're both big readers, there is like a tiny wee crossover of books that we both actually want to read. And he'll be really excited about a thriller. He'll want to talk to me about it, and I'll just be like, aye, cool, and then what happened? Right, aye, did you find out who done it? And I'll not really be bothered. And then I'll be like, oh my god, and then the dragon came in, and then there was the sword, and then the fairies came in, and then the mermaids, and he's just like, yep, aye, cool, you finished? So it's just really exciting for me to find loads of people who have either read the books that I've read and have similar opinions or different opinions, and we can chat about it, or who want to read the books that I've read. I like talking to everybody in the comments about it, and I'm really enjoying doing buddy reads as well. I know I've mainly buddy read things with Ange, but I'd like to get out of my comfort zone and do some more buddy reads in the future. That's something that I really like. I like having the chatting as you're reading it about everything that's happening where you are. I just think that's brilliant, and it just makes the book experience a wee bit more enjoyable for me. And even if it's a rubbish book and you're only enjoying it, it's just so fun to roast it together. And if you are enjoying it, then it's brilliant to have somebody who is as excited about it as you. So that's probably my favourite part of it. I really enjoy it, and I love talking to people in the comments. It's probably my favourite thing, to be honest, is when people are commenting and we just get to have a wee chat about books. And I know I'm a bit of an idiot and I'm a bit of a dafty, so it's nice to know that I make people laugh as well. They're not just, laughing at me. Well, I guess you are laughing at me, but I feel like we're laughing together, because I know I'm a dafty. So that's it for my Not So Newbie Tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you feel like you have maybe got to know me a wee bit more. and sort of know what direction the channel is going to go in a wee bit more, because there's been a wee bit of change and disruption, which I totally appreciate. But I hope you have enjoyed this video, and hopefully you aren't dying in this heat also, because it is disgusting. Bye.